My name is Lauren Whiteman, and I'm the communication specialist for the marketing arm. With COVID-19 impacting the world around us, brands are finding it a lot more difficult to engage in the experiences they're used to. We sat down with Mike Lozito and Delzell, two of TMA's leading experience experts, to discuss the best ways for brands to engage and experience now and in the future, but also how to do it safely. We're excited to share this conversation with you.
My name is Mike Lozito. I'm a Senior Vice President at the marketing arm, and I run the account side of things for several of our biggest clients, many of which have a heavy position in experiential marketing.
And I am Alison Delzell, and I have been here a little over 17 years, and the entire time in the Experience group. I am the SVP over Experience, running a little over 10,000 events a year.
Being first is so important in so much, and that can be the difference between the headline or not the headline, success and failure, the case study and something that just gets missed. We always, as marketers, have to be thinking about what's next, because that's what's breaking through. And so I think as long as we keep our eyes forward to like what we think is coming, that's going to be, probably the biggest thing that we need to do. Because if not, your brand's going to be stuck in a computer and it's not going to be ready when people are ready to come back out there in the real world. And we know that's what people are craving. Like right now, we were not built to be trapped inside our houses forever. Like people want to get out there, and they will get out there the moment that they can, or the moment that we make them feel safe enough that they can.
Safety needs to be at the forefront, and I think as we're looking at all of our brands, there's going to be some mandatories that must take place at every event, and then some probably nice to haves, right? So the mandatories are, the hand washing stations or sanitizing stations, and masks, and temperature readers as you walk in, and stanchions on the floor indicating 6 feet apart, and I could go on and on. And then there's the nice to haves, which will be the thermal scanners to understand if somebody's temperature is too high. The no-touch serving kiosks so that no human contact is taking place. Now, it's important for these brands to think about these, to plan for them in the future, and to set aside money, because every budget is probably going to be at least 5 to 10% higher now, because we have to account for these things.
We need to be thinking about what we can do with experience, just like we thought about what we can do with all the productions, all the TV shows, all the things that are going on right now, that are streaming from the basements of the world, and all of what is being reimagined to keep our lives going forward. We need to be putting that same kind of imagination and ingenuity into thinking about like what we can do to provide those real life experiences that all of us are missing out on and are craving. Experience has always been one for the few to broadcast out to the many in our feeds, and we got to think about the role that those two things play. So it's always been about quality versus quantity. There's a ton of ways to reach a ton of people, but if you really want to reach kind of somebody and touch them and win that hearts and minds kind of the consumer, getting in there and giving them that experience is arguably the probably most powerful way to do that. Sometimes it may be an experience for one or two people that we're making happen. And so inherently that has the right optics for the brand to make sure that we're being responsible and what we're doing isn't going to show up in any way that could be attacked or misconstrued, but that we are giving that experience. We get so much credit for that, for all the people that are then able to see it digitally, and when we put it out into PR, that those things are there. There's a little piece of normalcy that still like exists. We all can kind of relate to that and like wish we were there and live through that.
The minute there is a vaccine and the world sort of starts to open back up, the brands that are not ready and prepared and thinking about it and have a handbook and moving forward and ideating of what to do will be left behind. TMA Experience has not stopped, and in fact gone even above and beyond, in my opinion. And we've taken 5 big steps to continue to educate our team to get smarter. We are following the World Health Organization, or the WHO. We're following the CDC every single week. And that started when we started, number one, a task force inside of the Experience team that is made up of 5 people that meet every week that stay on top of everything. And number 2 is an internal newsletter that we send that just keeps our entire team abreast of everything they need to know for the week that is going on. So that's sort of number 2. Number 3 is sort of our weekly products that we find that are out there, whether it's the latest in mask lanyards to help people keep their masks handy, to very high-end disinfecting products that we've also found. We have also created what's called a Clean Seal by TMA, and that will be a visual indicator at all of our events that the area that this consumer is about to enter is clean and is safe and is very protected. And all of that came from number 5, which is our COVID handbook, which is a 40-page manual that we have created to help educate all consumers, all of our staff, all of the brands, anyone that's entering our space, how to go about doing an event safely and securely with the consumer's health and safety in mind. So I think it's important that brands lean on subject matter experts during these type of times. I've been doing it a very long time, right? And so I think it's important to lean on those type of people and not try to get back out there on your own or without the guidance of people that are listening to the CDC and writing their own proprietary experience handbooks or going through the multitude of creative rigor that it's going to take in order to get back out there safely.
It's funny. I think that everyone keeps talking about like when we return back to normal, and I don't know what the new normal is. I don't know if there is a new normal. There will just be an evolution, and I think that's what we're seeing right now. And so those people that are stuck waiting until things return to normal may be waiting for a very long time, maybe waiting forever. I think we've just moved on and we've evolved, and I think this pandemic has been one that has probably given us a lot of perspective, but has also accelerated the world in different ways. And ways that we'll continue to find out. So I think it's imperative to not wait for some sort of inflection point or moment in time that may or may not exist. I think we have to sit down and plan like we always have for what's happening right now, what's going on in culture, because when we're planning for what's happening in real life, that's what experience has always been. It's about having a real life experience in real time. And so I think we need to be thinking about what is happening right now, and we need to be seizing on those and not being paralyzed by the thought of something coming back or paralyzed by all the different things that are going on. Anytime that we've been faced with those type of things, we as a society and we as people have overcome. And I think with marketers, the creativity of our industry and who we are, like those are the challenges in many ways I think we seek. And we overcome and we do new things that we've never dreamed about. And so, I think that's what exists out right now is like a total reset for us to go create a whole new way forward.
Which is probably why now is exactly the time to get back into experience, to create these safe environments, to let us help you navigate the waters, which are tricky, but that's what we're here to do.